I was a gambling addict for 18 years. And I need you to understand something before I tell you this story. I didn't walk into a casino one day and lose everything. That's not how it works. It was slow. It was patient. It took its time with me. Like a friend who's secretly stealing from you. By the time you notice, it's already too late. My name's Dennis. I'm 68 years old. I haven't placed a bet in 7 years. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I went from a man who had everything, a house, a wife, a good job, savings, respect, to a man who was sitting in a parking lot at 2 in the morning with $11 to his name, trying to figure out where he was going to sleep. It started when I was 43. That's later than most people think. I wasn't some kid throwing money around. I was a grown man, married 19 years, 2 kids, Danny and Rachel. I was a regional sales manager for a plumbing supply company. Made good money. Not rich, but comfortable. We had a nice house on Birch Street, 3 bedrooms, big backyard. Linda had a garden she was proud of. We were fine. Better than fine. My buddy Carl invited me to a poker night. Just a bunch of guys from the neighborhood. $20 buy-in. Chips, beer, cigars. Nothing serious. I'd never really gambled before. Maybe a scratch ticket here and there. Maybe a $5 bet on the Super Bowl. That was it. But that first poker night, I won $180. Took it home, showed Linda. She laughed. "Look at you, big winner." We went to dinner that weekend with the money. It felt good. It felt like free money. That's the first lie gambling tells you, that any of it is free. Carl's poker night became a regular thing. Every other Friday. I'd win some, lose some, nothing crazy. But I noticed something about myself on those nights. When I was sitting at that table, cards in my hand, chips stacked in front of me, nothing else existed. Not work, not the mortgage, not the argument Linda and I had about the gutters. Nothing. Just the game. Just the next card. It was the most focused, the most alive I'd felt in years. And that should have scared me. But it didn't. About 6 months in, Carl mentioned a casino about an hour away. Just opened. Said they had good poker tables. A few of us drove up on a Saturday. I brought $200. Told Linda I was going fishing with the guys. First lie. I remember walking through those doors and feeling this rush. The lights, the sounds, the energy. Everything was designed to pull you in. And it worked. I sat down at a blackjack table because the poker room was full. I'd never played blackjack in my life. The dealer explained the basics. Within an hour, I was up $600. $600 in 1 hour. I made more sitting in that chair than I made in a day at work. My hands were shaking when I cashed out. Not from fear, from excitement. From this feeling like I'd found something. A secret. A shortcut. I went back the next weekend. Told Linda I was helping Carl with his deck. Second lie. This time I brought $300. I lost it all in 2 hours. Drove home in silence. Felt sick to my stomach. Not because of the money, because I couldn't wait to go back. I was already planning the next trip before I pulled into my driveway. Within 3 months, I was going to that casino every weekend, sometimes both days. The lies got more creative. Work trips, overtime, helping a friend move, a plumbing emergency at Carl's. I had a whole catalog of stories. And Linda believed them because why wouldn't she? I'd never lied to her before, not in 19 years, so she had no reason to doubt me. Here's what people don't understand about gambling addiction. It's not about the money. Not really. It's about the feeling. That moment before the card flips, before the wheel stops, before the dice land. That split second where anything is possible, where your whole life could change. That moment is the drug. And like any drug, you need more of it. The $20 poker nights stopped doing it. The $200 casino trips stopped doing it. I needed bigger bets, bigger stakes, bigger risk. Because the high only comes when something real is on the line. By year 2, I was betting $500 a night, sometimes more. I'd have good nights. One time I won $4,000 at a blackjack table. I felt like God, invincible. But here's the thing about winning big. It doesn't make you stop. It makes you believe you can do it again. So you go back, and you lose $4,000 over the next 3 visits. And then you go back again, trying to win it back. That's the cycle. Win, lose, chase, lose more, chase harder. And it never, ever ends until you have nothing left to chase with. The money started disappearing. I emptied our savings account first, $22,000. Told Linda I moved it to a better investment account. She didn't question it. Then I took out a credit card she didn't know about. Maxed it in 4 months, $15,000. Then another one, $12,000. Then I started taking cash advances. The interest rates were criminal, but I didn't care. I'd win it back. I always told myself I'd win it back. I was living a completely double life. Monday through Friday, I was Dennis, the sales manager. Reliable, professional, good handshake, firm eye contact. Friday night through Sunday, I was somebody else. Somebody I didn't recognize. Somebody who would lie to his wife's face, kiss his kids goodnight, then drive an hour to sit at a table and throw away money we didn't have. Danny was 16 when he started noticing things. "Dad, why can't I get new cleats?" "We'll get them next month, bud." Rachel needed braces. Linda brought it up one night. "The orthodontist wants $3,200. I said we'd figure it out. We never figured it out. Rachel didn't get braces until she was 19 and paid for them herself. That's something I carry with me every single day. 5 years in, I owed $78,000 in credit card debt. Linda didn't know about any of it, not a dollar. I was intercepting the mail. I'd gotten a P.O. box specifically for the credit card statements. Another system. Another layer of lies built on top of lies. The whole thing was like a house of cards, and I knew eventually it would collapse. But I kept building. Then I started borrowing from people. $500 from Carl, $1,000 from my brother Pete, $2,000 from a guy at work. Always with a story. Car trouble, medical bill, helping my mother-in-law. I was burning through relationships like firewood. Every person in my life became a potential source of money. That's what gambling does to you. It turns people into ATMs. The night everything fell apart, I was at the casino. It was a Wednesday. I'd told Linda I was at a conference in Dayton. I was at the blackjack table. I'd brought $2,000, money I'd taken from the mortgage payment. I lost it in 90 minutes. So I went to the ATM, took out another $500, lost that in 20 minutes. Went back to the ATM. Card declined. I tried another card. Declined. I stood there at that machine, in that bright, loud casino, and I had nothing. Every account was empty. Every card was maxed. I had $11 in my wallet. I drove home at 2 in the morning, sat in the driveway for an hour. I couldn't go inside. I couldn't face her. I couldn't face any of it. I thought about driving away, just leaving, going somewhere nobody knew me, starting over. But where do you go when the person you're running from is yourself? Linda found out 3 days later. Not because I told her, because the mortgage company called. We were 2 months behind. She called me at work. Her voice was calm, which was worse than yelling. "Dennis, why is the mortgage company calling me?" I tried to explain. I stumbled over words. I lied again, something about a banking error. She said, "Come home, right now." When I walked through that door, she was sitting at the kitchen table. She had papers spread out. She'd found the P.O. box key in my coat pocket. She'd gone there. She had every credit card statement, every one, months of them. She looked at me and said one sentence. "How much?" I told her. $94,000 in debt, savings gone, mortgage behind. And the number I didn't tell her, the money I'd lost total over 5 years, I didn't even know exactly. But it was somewhere around $300,000, maybe more. I'll never know the real number. She didn't scream. She didn't throw anything. She just sat there, reading through the statements one by one, turning pages. I watched her face change, not to anger, to something worse. Realization. Like she was looking back through 5 years of my lies and finally seeing them all at once. Every fishing trip, every conference, every late night at work, all of it clicking into place. She asked me to leave. "Not forever," she said, "just for now. I need to think." I packed a bag and drove to a motel off the highway, $49 a night. I sat on that bed and stared at the wall. No TV, no phone calls, just me and the full weight of what I'd done. Danny wouldn't talk to me for 6 months. Rachel cried on the phone and asked me why. I didn't have an answer. Because there isn't one. There's no good reason. There's no explanation that makes any of it okay. You can't tell your daughter you gambled away her braces money because a blackjack table made you feel alive. That's not a reason. That's a sickness. I went to my first Gamblers Anonymous meeting a week after Linda kicked me out. I sat in the back, didn't say anything, just listened. And for the first time in 5 years, I heard my own story coming out of other people's mouths. The lies, the hiding, the double life, the shame. I wasn't special. I wasn't unique. I was just another guy who thought he could beat the house. Linda and I tried to work it out. We did counseling for a year. I got a second job delivering pizzas on weekends to pay down the debt. I came clean to Carl, to Pete, to everyone I'd borrowed from. I paid every one of them back. It took 4 years, but I did it. But the marriage didn't survive. Too much damage. Too many lies. Linda told me one night, sitting at that same kitchen table, "I forgive you, Dennis, but I don't trust you, and I don't think I ever will again." We divorced when I was 54. She got the house. She deserved it. She deserved a lot more than that. Danny came around eventually. It took years. We're okay now. Not great, but okay. He calls me on Sundays. We talk about football. We don't talk about the gambling. Rachel forgave me faster. She's got a big heart, bigger than I deserve. She brings her kids over. They call me Grandpa. I don't take that for granted, not for a second. I live in a small apartment now, 2 bedrooms, nothing fancy. I've got a coffee maker, a TV, a recliner that's seen better days, and I've got peace. That's something money can't buy, and gambling sure as hell can't give you. 7 years sober from gambling. I still go to meetings. I still feel the pull sometimes. I drove past a casino last year on the highway, and my chest tightened. My hands gripped the steering wheel. After 7 years, my body still remembers. That's the thing people don't understand. You don't beat an addiction. You just learn to live beside it, without letting it drive. Here's what I want to tell you. If you're gambling right now and you think you've got it under control, you don't. Nobody who's got it under control ever has to tell themselves they've got it under control. If you're hiding it from someone, that's your answer right there. The hiding is the proof. And if you've already lost things, money, people, trust, I need you to hear this. You can stop. Not tomorrow, not after one more bet. Now. Because there's no such thing as one more bet. I told myself that for 18 years. Just one more. One more to break even. One more to win it back. One more turned into $300,000 and a divorce, and my kids not speaking to me. I'm 68 years old. I lost 18 years of my life to a game I was never going to win. Don't make my mistake. The house always wins. Always. The only way to beat it is to walk away and never look back. If this story hit you, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Tell me your story. And if you're in it right now, if you're deep in it and you don't know how to stop, just know you're not alone. And it's not too late.